All right, football fans, here we are at Precise Football Evaluation, where we're going to be evaluating Florida's quarterback, Anthony Richardson. We've already got Bryce Young and CJ Strom out the way. Now we're getting our third quarterback out the way. This guy here is a potential top five pick. Right now, rumors are that the Indianapolis Colts is looking at drafting this guy. So we're going to go through the film. We're going to evaluate his highlights, and I'm going to give you my evaluation and scouting report on him. And we're going to see where he fits in the mold in the NFL. All right, so right now they're in the single back formation. Uh, Richardson's in shotgun. Got the man running in motion. Play action pass. Let's see his stepping. Nope, he's gone. Ooh, this guy's fast. Wow. Got crazy legs on him already. I can already tell you that I've looked at his measurements, and we'll look at it at the end of the video. But he's at 6'4", and I think at the combine he weighed at 244. So we're looking at a Cam Newton type stature, and we'll get more to what I think about that when we get to the end of the video as well. But just to give you an idea of this guy's size and strength as far as his abilities, his weight. All right, so now they're back in the shotgun again, single back. They're formation heavy to the right side. Got a guy coming in motion, so he'll likely uh, he may be trying to do a fake. He may be doing him fake first or second, but number three is probably going, or either he's going to come in and do a what we call a crack block. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, that's a nice move. Nice pass. The guy's wide open. Again, y'all already know how I feel about wide open passes. Threw off his back foot a little bit. He was distressed a little from the defensive player. How he got out of that was very amazing. But we'll go ahead and go to the next clip. All right, so he's back in shotgun formation. As you remember from the C.J. Strom, they're in that split tailback. He's to his right. They're twins down here on the bottom, twin formation on the wide receivers. Looks like more than likely he's probably going to roll out. If he's going to roll out anywhere, he'll roll out to his right. He's going to roll out toward his wide receivers. Unless they try to get this H back here, this number 9 that's on the left side. If he goes on an out pattern, he may go that way and boot it to him. Play action pass. Okay, so he kept it. He ran to the heavy side. So we can already see that he's mobile. You can tell he's got that Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton type running ability. All right, so they're in the single back formation shotgun. They used to in the 90s and early 2000s, mid 2000s, the single was always done under center when they had the single back formation. Since we've gone to more of a passing NFL now, they've been doing this out of the shotgun, keeping quarterback closer to the running back. And it makes sense just because it opens up the field of vision. The further back that quarterback can get away from the offensive line, the more area that he can see because he's not on top of the offensive lineman. But they used to had the center right here. I got that on that little. Now it's even tinier. That's crazy. Yeah, that's not the. Anyway, they used to have the quarterback under center, and the running back would be 5 yards back. Now they've got them about 3 yards apart now, so you can do a quick play action pass or hand him the ball, and then he's got all of that room that he can look at where he can maneuver. They can also run a read option in this formation as well. All right, so there's the play action pass. Let's see his footwork. Yeah, that's ugly. Let's look back on that. of course, he had no good mechanics in that. Now, I know he was distressed a little bit, but all of that was ugly. So let's watch it. Ugh, all over his back foot. Guy just happened to be wide open. And he runs it in for a touchdown. So that play there is going to count as a touchdown for Richardson. But the wide receiver did most of the work. I mean, good elusiveness in the pocket for Richardson. I mean, we've already made a point that he's elusive, but that was all wide receiver on that one. All right, so here we are back in the single back formation, short shotgun. And I say short shotgun because normally they're about 5 yards away in a regular shotgun. He's only about, well, he's probably about, no, he's about 4 yards away. So, see what he does here. Play action pass. Steps into the throw. That's a good sideline throw. If you remember when I talked about it in the Bryce Young video, that sideline pass is going to be the hardest pass in the NFL to do because you're in such a tight window, and normally you have tight coverage. Either you're going to have press coverage with the safety on the deep half, or safety will end up, they may do a corner blitz. It depends on if they're twins to one side. Sometimes when they're twin wide receiver on one side, they like to blitz one of the corners and allow the safety on that side to take coverage. So either way, these guys are tightly covered on the sidelines. So the outside, the out of bounds pass is the toughest. That one was for about 30 yards. He stayed poised in the pocket. He stepped right into it. He had his lead shoulder leading toward his target. He stepped his feet aiming toward the target. So that was a good pass. I'm going to give him kudos on that one. Big thumbs up. All right, so now they're back in this. Good gracious. So now they're back into this shotgun formation with the split back. 4 wide receivers got no tight ends. He's twins on both sides. Stepped into that throw. Beautiful pass. Now the wide receiver had to wait on a little bit. That's a little concerning because when you want to put that ball in the window, it's all about timing. And you want to lead that wide receiver where he ain't got to wait on it. And if you'll take a look, let's look at it again. The receiver's going to have to wait on it. In the NFL, that could be a problem. He floats it. He should have had enough under it. He had to wait on it a little bit. Shotgun formation again, we see a consistency here in college football where everything's about running out of the shotgun, and it looks like they love to go into the single back or split back. Offenses are built like that even in the NFL now. You rarely see the 2 running back formations anymore. It's all about passing formations and passing. Passing. We see with Mahomes with already 2 5,000-yard passing seasons. There's only been 2 guys that's ever win it. Well, I'm sorry. Drew Brees has done it 5 times. No one has even come close. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady come second for most 5,000 yards passing in a season, and both of them have 2. Anyone else that ever went over 5,000 yards passing has only done it once. So think about that. But it's starting to be a passing league. Look at Montana. Joe Montana is considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. The most yards that he ever passed in a season was less than 4,000 yards. It was around, I think, I may be wrong. He was close to 4,000 yards, but it didn't get quite there. And the most touchdown passes he ever had in a season was 31. They consistently pass 40 touchdowns, 30 touchdowns, or 35 to 45 touchdowns a season. We've already had a couple of quarterbacks that's gone over 50 in the last few years. So it's become a passing league. So let's see what he does here. Play action pass to the running back. throwed off his back foot like you wouldn't believe. Ugly. Ugly. You cannot like that as an NFL scout. Watch his back feet. Here it is right here. This is the foot that he should be looking at stepping forward on. Is that one right there. But he's going to throw off the back foot. Now his lead shoulder is pointing forward and trying to find its target. That's good. The technique is good, just the mechanics are bad. Watch his back foot. He'll throw off of this one. Ugly. Cannot do that. Your wide receiver will likely not be that wide open in the NFL. Definitely not most of the time. You once in a game may find your guy wide open like that in the NFL. That's going to be ugly more times than not in the pro game. Again, shotgun, short shotgun, single back formation. He's got trip left, two wide receivers on the left side. Play action pass. He bootlegs to his right, steps into it. See, that's a beautiful throw. That's a beautiful throw. If you noticed, every time these guys poised in the pocket, step with the foot that they're supposed to step with, put their hips into it, and you got your toes and your lead shoulder pointing toward your target. Always good things was happening like this in every highlight of every quarterback that you've seen thus far. Thumbs up. Shotgun, single back, rolls out to his right. Nice move. So he's gone with the leg. Oh, he's got it open right here. Look at the speed. He's fast. God, he's fast to be a big guy. Great run, great decision. I'm going to give him kudos on that. So he was in shotgun again. Running back's coming out to the flats as usual. Stepped in. Oh, okay. He's gone again. Very elusive guy. That's going to be the issue. Guys that do running like this, their career stays so short in the NFL, and we'll get into that at the end of the video. But, I mean, these guys that run like this, the Lamar Jacksons, the Cam Newtons, that's one thing that if the Indianapolis Colts is looking at getting this guy, that they're going to have to decide, am I going to do a 10-year investment with this guy? Because that's all they're really going to give you. They just do not last as long as mobile or pocket passer guys, with the exception of someone like Andrew Luck. But we all know that Andrew Luck played his entire career in Indianapolis with the worst offensive line in the history of the NFL. Why that GM is still a GM there, he ruined Andrew Luck by getting him no offensive lineman in there. That man got killed constantly and was still throwing over 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns a season. Why his career ended. But this is going to be the problem. He took a huge hit there, and we all know in the NFL, you get your brains knocked slap out in the NFL. Shotgun. Rolled out to his right again. Stepped into that pass. Beautiful. Beautiful. Got to give him the thumbs up on that. That's what you want to see. Watch his lead foot. Stepped. Beautiful. Thumbs up. Shotgun. Running again. So, yeah, he's going to be that Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton kind of guy. So that's just something that the Indianapolis Colts is going to have to decide on. Are they going to get a guy that can give them 15 to 17 years? Or are they going to invest in this guy that's going to give you a prime 7 to 8 years? He may play 10, 11, possibly 12. But they're not going to be prime years. Look at Cam Newton. He's played 11. And look at, nobody don't even want him now. He's beat up. He's just been injured. It just happens. I mean, these bodies aren't built to take the punishment this long in the NFL. You're running, you're getting nailed. Even when you slide and guys fall on top of you, your body's feeling it. So we'll see. That's my concern right now with him is all the running. You're just not going to have a long prime career in the NFL running. So we're in the shotgun. They went trips left with the motion. Guy's wide open. I'm not going to give anybody that. Shotgun single back. Read option. Like I said, you can do read option out of that single back formation. The guy's elusive and the guy is fast. I'm going to give him that. He is, once he goes, he goes. But like I said, as we've seen, guys just get beat up. Look at Lamar. He's already done missing a bunch of time every year now. He missed a lot of last season, and then this past season he missed half the season, and he's just played 5 years. It's just what running quarterbacks just, you just got that time window of when they're going to play, and it's 10, max 12, and that's not even prime. You're going to get prime 7 to 8 years, and that's it. Shotgun, split single back. Now that's a beautiful pass. Now I'm going to look back on that one. See, steps. You see, people can look at some of the evaluations that I've done where guys have leaned back and threw it up in the air and say, well, in that situation, you have to in order to get the ball lobbed up. No, you don't. He just shows you right here you don't. Watch. Lead foot, step. There you go. Boom. Perfect. Thumbs up, Richardson. Under center for once. That was an ugly pass. That was ugly. Watch him throw off his back foot. I know he's under distress, but that's ugly. That's likely intercepted in the NFL. Single wing, he's probably going to run this. He's in shotgun. No, he passed it. And that's about all you can do on that play. He was under distress. Good decision. Shotgun. Guy wide open. I mean, he stepped into it some. Really, that's what you got to expect out of that play. I mean, it's wide open. Shotgun, single back formation again. Let's see if he steps. Steps. Guy wide open, but the guy didn't even have to slow down. That's what you want right there. Thumbs up. All right, so here we are with his scout sheet. Kind of a scout sheet. It just gives you the basics. As soon as I start doing all the quarterbacks at one time to just size them all up, we'll get into more detailed scouting with them. 6'4", 244 pounds, big guy, Cam Newton sized guy. Everybody knows I'm not a huge fan of Cam. I always thought he was overrated. 11 seasons that he's played, 8 of those he has a losing record in. His MVP to me was a joke. I mean, that team got him the MVP. They were 15-1, mainly because of that defense. Cam won the MVP. He was 16th in passing yards. Blake Bortles had more passing yards than him that season and the exact same amount of passing touchdowns. Blake Bortles. And he won MVP. So his attributes, we did find some measurements on him. Or not, attributes. 4.43 40-yard dash. That's getting it for a quarterback. Which we seen that in the film. I mean, he was flying. 40.5 on the vertical jump. When you're 6'4", 244 pounds, and you can vertical that high, really don't know what the vertical does for the quarterback. I mean, maybe when they're jumping for a first down or jumping over the line for a touchdown. That's about it. Broad jump, 10 foot 9 inches. That's pretty good. Couldn't find any accolades on him. He'd never been a quarterback of the year on something or anything like that. I mean, he really had a short college year. I think his overall record was like 6-7 or something like that. He didn't have what we can see right here. Yeah, 6-7. Got the wrong color on there. 6-7 right there. All right, so in 2021 he only had one start. Oh yeah, I see why I ain't going nowhere. Hold on. College stats, passing, rushing. All right, so he had the one game start. He played in 8 games. He was 0-1. Played in 12. He was 6-6, and got a career record of 6-7. Not impressive, but records can be more toward how bad the team was. And so we can just look at his 2022 because that's really when he only played. 2,549 yards, 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's not going to beat you in the air. And I'm going to tell you how concerning that is for the NFL. Of course, we know he's a runner. 654 yards with 9 touchdown rushes. We see his completion percentage here is absolutely horrendous. 53.8, and he only has a career. Of course, he only had the one other start. 54.7. So I'm just going to tell you like this. If I was the Indianapolis Colts, I would pass on him. I know you need a quarterback. I think this year you would be better off to go find you another quarterback. I mean, if you're going to set the system, this is going to be a system quarterback type of guy. He's going to have to be in a system like a Lamar Jackson or a Cam Newton. You're going to have to use his legs for him to be any kind of success in the NFL. His body's going to take a beating. He's going to be hurt some games. Now you've got to ask yourself, am I going to invest my draft pick, number 4 overall, if I'm not mistaken at the moment, in a guy that's going to give me 7 to 8 good prime years max? He may stay there 10, but he's going to give you 7 to 8 good years. That's all this guy's going to give you. Now, one other negative thing about a guy that can't give you the passing yards that you need is when you've got to come from behind. If you notice a lot of guys that run, they have a hard time coming behind because they're used to running. When you got to start depending on a guy that doesn't have a great passing arm and you got to pass to come back, you're already toast. You might as well go ahead and scratch an L on that one. And that needs to be a concern for the Indianapolis Colts, man. So many teams draft on base potential, and I hate that. They really need to break it down more than just saying, well, this guy's got huge potential. Jamarcus Russell had huge potential. Where's he at? Tim Couch had huge potential. Colt Brennan, y'all probably don't even know who I'm talking about. He was the quarterback for Hawaii University. This guy broke every NCAA passing record that there ever was at the time. Didn't even play none in the NFL. So we can talk about potential all day long. Ryan Leaf, man, he went second to Peyton Manning. Bump this potential stuff. What are they doing on the field? And like I said, I don't much decide my evaluation on the stats, but it gives you a baseline. Here it tells me that this guy here is a better rusher than he is a passer. That's concerning in the NFL. My Chicago Bears is already feeling it with Justin Fields, because right now he hasn't showed us that he's a big arm passer, but that he can run like the devil. Well, we had a number 1 pick in the draft this year. We were dead last. Now, we did have some many holes to fill. We've got one of the worst offensive lines in the league, if not the worst. So he has room to improve. We've got some pieces, DJ Moore. So we'll see if he improves passing. He's got to, because we were playing so behind last year so many times. We were having to depend on his arm. Number one, we didn't have the pieces for him to pass. Our best guy was Darnell Mooney, and he stayed hurt. And so this guy is going to, the one good thing if he goes to the Colts now, he's going to have Michael Pittman. Now, I like Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman's no joke. And he's got some couple of other pieces there too to help out. And of course, when you got Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, that helps a whole lot too. But if I was the Indianapolis Colts, unless you're going to change your whole offensive scheme and go to the read option, this is going to be a read option running and play action passing quarterback. He's going to have to dominate in the read option and scare people away. That's what helps Lamar when Lamar is able to play, is that they concentrate so much of stopping him on the read option that when he does play action pass, the defense comes up to defend that, and it allows his wide receivers more room to find them windows in the defense to set, and he can get the pass to them. This guy's going to have to be done exactly the same way. But then when you get behind, you got to understand how the defense is going to read that. Now when you're behind and you're having to come back in the air, they ain't worried about your rushing no more. So they go into a pass defense. They go into a nickel or a dime package, bring in more corners, more safeties, more defensive backs altogether, and they start shutting the run down. And then when you got a guy that's not great at passing, as a Bryce Young or a C.J. Stroud, then that's how you go. Now, I know the Carolina Panthers has kind of looked at this guy a little bit for the number one pick. In my opinion, they need to go with C.J. Stroud. I'm going to look into more of it. And two, I'm going to bring all these quarterbacks that's going to be drafted, that are potential to be drafted in the NFL out of the draft. I'm going to do one whole segment on all of them just to get them together and size them up together. But right now, my number one quarterback that should be picked, C.J. Stroud. Second, Bryce Young. I'm not even sure Anthony Richardson should be the third. I've still got to evaluate the other ones, but right now, that's where I put him at, is in the Lamar Jackson area, and he's probably, in my opinion, not as good as a passer as Lamar Jackson. So if it was me being the Colts GM, scout, NFL scout, player personnel, whatever, whoever's involved with the draft, especially with my number 4 pick, I would probably look at looking over this guy. I don't see it. Unless they're just going to go into the read option and then get 7 good years out of them. If they want to do that with their number 4 pick, then fine. I think if C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young is gone, which they're likely going to be by the 4th, because Houston and Carolina is going to go, they're going to take one or two. Maybe one of them takes a chance and draft this guy. If they do, they will make a huge mistake. But I think I would almost wait on next year's draft class. Maybe you get Drake May or somebody like that from North Carolina. So he don't have much experience. A lot of people always talk about guys that come in. It's only really had 1 year experience. He's got 1 year experience really, and that was last year. It just don't blast you away. So here's some of the evaluations that I've seen some other analysts and scouts do with them. So let's just go over them and I'll tell you if I agree with it or not. Elite size, strength, athletic ability for quarterback position. I agree with that. Guys got that. Has potential to perform in a variety of offensive schemes. I do not agree with that. He is actually limited. He's going to be a read option, play action pass guy. That's it. Can make explosive plays as a passer or runner. No, he can do it as a runner. I don't see him doing explosive plays as a passer. Give me just a second. Arm strength to throw downfield and into tight windows. This I don't disagree. This I don't agree with. This I do. He showed he can throw it down the field. Now, whether he can throw it accurate or not is another thing, especially in the NFL. Functional pass accuracy when mechanically sound and in rhythm. Well, we know that that's a lie. I don't know who these scouts are. Rarely functional pass accuracy. He's 54%. So that means if he passes 10 times, or 10 times he's completing 5. Disagree totally. So that's an X. That's an X. That's an X. Willing to take a hit and still deliver a throw. I agree with that. Check. I don't know how that world suddenly got big. Good awareness of pressure mounting around him. Yes, I'll give him that. That's a check mark. Footwork to slide and throw or scramble for yards. Of course. He does. Had touchdown to interception ratio of 12-2 over his final 6 games at Florida. Okay. Congratulations. You did it in 6 games. Not impressed at all with that ratio. It could have been against the competition they were playing against. For all we know, they played 6 5-5 teams. I mean, they weren't a great team to start with. So, a lot of X's on that one. But that's my evaluation of him. Got this thing just going all over the place now. But that's my evaluation of him. And so, yeah. Colts, I would avoid them. I don't even know if I would take a quarterback. I got to look at the other guys, but these were supposedly the big 3 in the first round. So if I was a Colts, I like I say, unless they're going to go into the Lamar Jackson with a person that is less likely to pass as good as him, fine. If you're going to just run him to death, I would not take this guy with my number 4 pick. Just me. Carolina definitely needs to stay away from them. They need to go with C.J. Stroud. If they pick Bryce Young, I'm not going to much blame them. But like I say, right now, C.J. Stroud's number 1, Stroud. Number 2 is Bryce Young. Where this guy fits at, I don't know yet. But we got some more quarterbacks that's going to be coming to get evaluated. So that is it for this one for now. The next guy may be, I think his name's Will Lewis from Kentucky. So I'll do my scouting. I'll look at everything. I'll look at the measurements and stuff like that and get that all jotted down for you so we can see it on that one. So until next time, this has been Precise. So until next time, this is Precise Football Evaluation. You have a good day, and we'll see you later.